everybody, welcome to another episode of Widgets and Wonders with Ash. This is my show about great products from small companies. Now today we're going to take a look at something new. This is heavy card laser cut terrain from MC Studios. Now MC Studios successfully ran a crowdfunding campaign to get this initial batch of terrain off the ground, and it's available from their website, which you can click the link below to check out. And what we have here is a selection of their M4 building sets, which are perfect for sci-fi games like Infinity. So let's take a look. You can see the stuff that I've painted up. You can actually see the demo building as well that Mark sent along to show off, which is the one that's used on his website, and a lot of his promotional videos. You can see it flat pack and put away, and then you get to see it on the table with some models. All right, so here is one of the M4 buildings. This is the demonstration one that Mark actually sent me, which is his original that he had painted up to show off in his crowdfunding campaign. So you can see here, it divides up. The only piece you need to permanently assemble with glue is the roof. And the reason for that is it will give some structure to the rest of the building when it's put together. Now, even these ladders, if you look at them, I think some have been glued together, some haven't. Yeah, so they actually pop apart. And you could flat pack them if you wanted to, but they are really snug and they hold together really well when they're assembled. So now this has all been painted. When you first get it, it is just bare card. It looks a lot like MDF. It has a bit more of a tooth to it. So when I say tooth, what I mean is there's a kind of a texture. And what that means is the only real difference in it and MDF is it'll drink a bit more of your primer. When I say drink, I mean absorb. So what I used was Liquitex, was it Professional Artist Spray Paint, which you can get from DIY craft stores like Michael's, and I primed mine with that, and I had absolutely no problems. It did it in one coat. I let it dry for an hour or two, and it was ready to airbrush and get painting. I'm not sure what the process was for painting these, but I think it was something similar. I think they just did that very similar thing, priming it with an airbrush. And it was just, again, airbrush painted, masked and painted. You can see the masking and then the highlighting here. And then give them a little bit of sponge detail. They put some browns and stuff on it, and a few more details to just sort of like make all the details pop, painting all the panels and stuff too. Now, when you want to put it together, all you have to do is take the floor bit here. You can see there's two tabs that pop in to the edges. And oops, that's actually the inside, because the buttons go on the outside. I don't think it really matters actually, but I just like the buttons being on the outside. You pop them on the ends, and then these parts slot into the sides, like so and like so, and it's actually held together. So it holds itself together at that point. You can see these holes are actually for ladders that aren't, you can see them in mine, they're actually not included in this. And these doors also pop in and out. So if you wanted to have the doors in, you could just pop them in, and they are flush enough and tight enough that actually they will stay in there with very little problem. So you just kind of pop them in, a lot like MDF doors. They just kind of snuggle in and stay there until you want to open or close them. The roof can then have ladders pop on, basically wherever you want. These are exactly the right diameter to just pop onto the edges here and hold on, so you can have access points on the roof, and this just sits on top. And when it's all said and done, it's nice and firm. This is not sort of card in the sense of the Mototronica scenery from Infinity themselves, from Corvus Belli. This is heavy cards. If you look at it, it's roughly 3mm, maybe 4mm card, and it acts and behaves almost the same as MDF. The primary difference, I would say, is it's lighter, and obviously the amount of glue in it, the stuff holding it together, is less. It's relying more on the fiber of the wood pulp to hold the thing together when it's all said and done, as opposed to the amount of glue that would be in MDF that would hold it together. And that's why when you actually put this stuff together, when you pop it off the frame, there's a lot more soot and a lot less sort of like of a sort of glassiness almost to the edges, because the wood pulp's being burned by the laser, as opposed to on MDF, it's actually melting and fusing that resin, that sort of like glue that's holding it all together, and making it almost into like a glass. It almost feels like when you rub the edge of a laser cut in MDF, like you're rubbing your thumb up against some kind of hard resin, and that's because it's just been basically cooked down, caramelized almost by the laser. But there is the finished building that Mark sent along, and I'm gonna send this back to him because he needs it for the future. He was super kind to send along so I could check it out. And then we'll take a look at the stuff that he sent that I built and painted myself. So here are the kits that I painted up from Mark's selection of terrain, from MC Studios terrain. This is the M4 power station. and it is, again, modular. Now, I glued the base together, but I left the top so it could pop off, just for storage purposes. Again, you could have this thing disassemble if you wanted it to. The top will actually hold this power grid thing together, and the bottom, again, you really only need to build the two tops, and the bottom walls will all slot together and hold themselves together later on. I obviously don't have that problem of terrain storage because I have a place to store everything, so I just basically, I glued it together unless it was in unmanageable chunks. So that's one kit right there. It's super cool. It has, again, I just sort of airbrushed everything on and then painted some details. It does have an access point here at the bottom with some restricted access. I gave it some nice glowiness, and it looks really nice with some models on it. So you've got a good high bit of cover with some firing slits here on the top edge, and then this one right here would probably cover an infantryman. This might even cover like a gecko or something like that. It's relatively tall. There are these connectors and walkways, which you can also hang ladders off of because I gave it a try. Now, if you have lots of these buildings, you could actually place these in between buildings to have them as sort of like ramps and people walking together. I actually just like them as turrets too, just like kind of street turrets, fortifications and stuff. This is an M4 building back here. This is another one of the connectors and walkways. This is an M4 building back here, and they actually go together, which is kind of cool. And you can see inside, whoops, extra little bits, which I actually forgot to pull out. This is an antenna or objective marker. It's on a 40 mil stand, so you could use it easily as an antenna in infinity, but you can see the ladder as well on the access points. And I glued my doors in too. I tend to just mark doors open and close as opposed to pulling them off because I don't want to lose the pieces. But this is the exact same standard sort of M4 style building as the one you just saw me put together and disassemble. I went for kind of a high gloss mirror's edge contrast look here with some very, very bright whites and grays, and then some hard edged reds, and then I kind of damaged everything on the edges and stuff too. So primary colors. There is a wall set. You can see here city walls. They link up the buildings really nicely just to sort of block fire lanes and stuff. And they're textured all on one side. Again, they're super easy to paint. I just paint them with my airbrush and just add some colors and stuff too to give them some glow effect. But you can see this one, they're all kind of measured with silhouettes in mind. So this one definitely, you know, gives cover to a tag. This one's a third to a tag. This one will definitely do at least a third on infantry, size 2 silhouettes and whatnot. There's some other little sort of street features, a neat little emplacement, bunkery thing. I really like this just for some, I always like green being on my tables, and the little planter I thought was super cool. I might turn this one into a planter too because I have some extras of these. These are just aquarium plants added onto it. And on top of that, this is a 2-level M4 building with a larger ladder system and also a stairwell. So you can actually make a stairwell going up to it too. And what's nice about the stairwell, like it's not obviously to proper scale, but you can put a model on it no problem and have them go up the stairs. If you saw those stairs in real life, you know, they're not stair scale, but they're certainly gaming friendly. I think that's the intention here, that guys can stand on top of them and not fall down, sort of like the stairs on the Bandua buildings. Once again, you've got ladders as well, marking access between levels, and all 3 levels come apart so you can see all the levels in the building. This is also another accessory, is this balcony. So the balcony here is an extra piece to kind of detail your M4 buildings with, and it just gives you a nice little reason to have a door, right? So like a lot of times there's doors to nowhere on buildings. This gives your door to somewhere, so you can actually go outside and stand on the balcony and do some shots. And I like the fact there's a little sunroof for it too. And then last but not least, a container. So again, this container is made out of card. This you would not glue together. This would just get glued together completely. And I did it in nice vibrant white, and all the detail there is etched on. So there it is, a selection of city scenery. So this is the M4 Outpost scenery from MC Studios. If you want to check it out, click the link below. But a nice group of different features, super playable, and you'll probably see it in lots of battle reports in the future. All right, so there you go, some heavy cardboard terrain, not MDF terrain, heavy cardboard terrain from MC Studios. Now, just as my sort of 2 cents on building and painting it, it functionally builds and paints almost no different from MDF terrain. My one bit of advice would be wash your hands a lot when you're putting it together, because there's a lot more soot on the edges, because again, more wood fiber, less glue. It means that it's not going to caramelize when it's getting cut by the laser. It's going to turn into soot. And other than that, you can paint it, I would say, identically to the way that you would paint any MDF terrain. It's sturdy. It is entirely sort of like durable when it comes to just like random sort of general use. I would say that this is no more or less durable than the MDF terrain that I already have. So check it out if you want to buy some. It's linked below in the video description. You can see all the different prices and all the different stuff that's available. There is probably more stuff than what I've shown available at the time of filming this, because Mark's been working on a whole bunch of new stuff, and he's also working on stuff for new game systems too. So give it a look. It is Canadian, so go Canada. I'm pretty excited to see an MDF company coming out of Canada for more than one reason. Our dollar's not doing so well right now, so I think that's pretty exciting, and I just love seeing stuff get done at home. So congratulations on your successful crowdfunding there, Mark. I hope you have lots of success in the future. And if you guys know of another project or thing that is not getting enough attention, please have them email me at guerrillaminiaturegames@gmail.com, or they can Facebook me through my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/outofthebasement into the streets. There's a message box there they can get in touch with me with. And I will do my best to give them as much attention as possible. It's a very brave thing, building something and putting it into the world, and I believe that it deserves all the support it can possibly get. So we'll see you for more of this in the future. Until then, I'm Ash. Have a